Okay, so get this. One of our listeners sent in something really interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, they want to know if Donald Trump's inauguration, like, actually impacted the price of Bitcoin.
Mm.
Yeah. So we're going to do a deep dive into this excerpt from early 2017.
Okay.
It actually predicted Bitcoin trends,
Yeah.
based on the changing political landscape.
Sounds fascinating.
Yeah. And I mean, look, we're not giving financial advice here, and we're also not trying to, relive the 2016 election.
Right.
But it's really about exploring how, like, these two worlds, tech and politics, sometimes collide and in ways you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, I mean, it is really interesting to look back and see how people were trying to, figure out
Right.
what was going to happen.
Exactly.
Especially, with something as unpredictable as the crypto market, right?
Totally.
So yeah, this prediction, it's trying to find, cause and effect
Yeah.
between like a major political event and, the ups and downs of Bitcoin.
For sure.
Let's break it down, I guess.
Yeah. Let's dive into these 5 factors they highlighted and see if they,
Okay.
actually hold up.
Yes, sounds good.
So the prediction, it starts off with policy shifts towards crypto.
Right.
So did the Trump administration, did they actually, like, embrace cryptocurrency?
Well, Trump himself, he didn't really talk about crypto regulation that much publicly.
Right.
But there are these like subtle shifts within his administration.
Okay.
Some of his appointees, key appointees, they were openly interested in like blockchain technology,
Interesting.
which kind of signaled that maybe, they were softening a little towards the whole crypto space.
Yeah.
But to be honest, there weren't a lot of like concrete policies specifically to help crypto, So
Yeah.
I'd say it was more of a quiet nod than a full-on embrace.
Gotcha. So not a full endorsement,
Right.
but maybe a little opening.
Yeah, exactly.
So next up, they predicted a weakened dollar
Okay.
after the inauguration,
Yeah.
obviously, and they suggested that this would, benefit Bitcoin.
Uh-huh.
Did that actually happen?
Well, the US dollar did have some ups and downs in early 2017.
Okay.
Partly because, nobody was really sure what the new administration's economic policies would be.
Right.
But I don't know if you can say that, for sure that it directly helped Bitcoin.
Mhm.
Because Bitcoin's price is affected by so many things, not just how the dollar's doing.
Yeah, it's a
It's
complicated.
a whole ecosystem, yeah.
All right, so maybe not a simple, A plus B equals C kind of thing there.
Right, exactly.
But okay, this next factor, this one is really interesting.
Okay.
Bitcoin as a safe haven.
Oh, yeah.
This prediction, it suggests that because there'd be all this geopolitical uncertainty under Trump,
Mm-hmm.
it would, like, push investors towards Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
Well, you always hear that safe haven story, right?
Huh.
It comes up a lot in the crypto world,
For sure.
especially when, things are feeling shaky globally. Like, a safe haven asset is basically something people put their money into when, like, the traditional markets seem risky.
It's okay.
So historically, that's been, gold or even the Swiss franc.
Huh.
Now the question is, does Bitcoin really fit that?
Right.
I mean, it's decentralized, right?
Yeah.
And there's a limited supply, which is appealing to some investors.
Yeah.
But it's also super volatile.
Yeah.
So, safe and volatile don't usually go together that well.
Not really.
It
no,
makes
no.
you think, right?
It does. It does.
Oh.
So I'm curious, were there any big global events in early 2017 that might have, made people run to Bitcoin as this safe haven?
Well, to be honest with you, 2017 was a relatively calm year,
Okay.
geopolitically speaking.
Wow.
Sure, there were things happening around the world, but, nothing I can point to and say, yep, that's what caused everyone to suddenly buy Bitcoin.
Okay, so that one's maybe a little less, certain.
Yeah, a little more speculative.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
So let's move on to institutional interest and regulatory clarity.
Okay.
So do we see, like, big financial players, jumping into crypto under Trump?
It's interesting because you can see the beginning of a trend here,
Okay.
like one that really took off in the last few years.
Right.
But in 2017, it was just starting.
Yeah.
Back then, yes, some institutional investors were dipping their toes in, but the real flood of institutional money came later.
Gotcha.
And as for regulatory clarity, well, the U.S. was and still is kind of vague about a lot of it,
Yeah.
which probably made those big institutions hesitate a bit,
It makes sense for sure.
Yeah.
All right, finally, the prediction talks about public interest in media coverage.
Okay.
They thought that Trump's policies, especially around tech, would basically shine a spotlight on crypto, and that this would bring in everyday investors.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, there's no denying that Trump was like a media magnet. Anything he focused on became front page news instantly, you know?
Yeah, totally.
And that definitely included tech and business.
Yeah.
So yeah, more people heard about crypto because of that, for sure. And we did see a jump in, regular people buying Bitcoin around that time.
Okay, so the prediction, let me just remind everybody, they said there would be a sustained bull run.
Right.
And a significant price increase for Bitcoin throughout January 2017.
Okay.
What actually happened?
Well, Bitcoin did go up in price in January 2017, but I don't know about a sustained bull run. That might be pushing it.
Yeah.
It was a pretty bumpy month. Some wins, some losses,
Right.
The really big price jump happened later in 2017.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the prediction wasn't totally wrong.
Yeah.
But the timing was a little off.
Or a little bit, yeah.
So looking back at all this, what did we learn? Can a U.S. president actually, affect the crypto market?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think this deep dive just shows how, politics and tech and how the market feels, it's all connected. You can't really draw straight lines between, cause and effect.
Right.
It's all way more complicated than that.
For sure. It definitely reminds us that, predictions, especially about crypto.
Oh, yeah.
You really got to take them with a grain of salt, There's just so much going on behind the scenes.
And absolutely.
It makes you think, what else besides politics might shape Bitcoin's future?
Okay, it's a great question to think about.
Yeah, a lot to ponder.
Definitely.
I think I'll be thinking about that one for a while.
Yeah, me too.
Well, this has been fascinating. Thanks for diving into this with me.
Oh, anytime.
Always a pleasure.
Likewise.